Hi guys, welcome to our Choose Chat, where we talk about making godly choices that can transform your life. My name is Jill Miller.
And I'm Laura Pedersen. And this month we have been talking about love, because it is a
of
love
course.
month. Yes.
It's love, it's Valentine's
Yeah.
Day.
And Jill shared a lot last Friday about her two words for the year of unfailing love.
Unfailing love, yes.
Yes.
God is working that in my heart, and how we have to take in His love, unfailing love. Yeah.
Right. So it's taking in God's love. And I want to talk a little bit about His greatest commandment.
Yes.
And it's to love the Lord your God with all of your heart, all of your soul, all of your mind, and all of your strength.
Yes.
But
love
the
that.
second part of that commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself.
As yourself.
As yourself.
That's the thing that I think sometimes we miss. I think sometimes when we hear that commandment, we get caught up in the loving your neighbor, which is awesome.
Right.
I mean, we're supposed to do that. But the last two words are so important, as yourself.
So he's really calling us in the great commandment to love ourselves.
Love ourselves.
Love
and
ourselves.
That's hard to do
Yep.
sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes it's easier to love others.
Than it is to love ourselves.
It is.
Yeah.
We get so, because we know ourselves, right? And we know those thoughts that people don't know, and we know everything that we've done wrong, and sometimes we hold on to that, and sometimes it makes us feel unlovable.
Right.
And we can be hard on ourselves.
Yes. And I wanted to talk about a blog that I wrote this yesterday, because this was kind of mulling through my mind. And the blog was titled Finding Joy in Who I Am.
I love that. And it
Yes.
was very good.
Thank you.
It was a very
Thank
good.
you.
So if you haven't read it, go to the ChooseJoyFoundation.com and read her blog.
Thank
It's
you.
really good.
Thank you. But as I was sitting in my quiet time, because I've had a lot of different things happen this year with joining the Women of Faith, and over the last few years starting the Choose Joy Foundation, and my whole premise was to continue Sarah's discipleship.
Right.
And as I've been continuing Sarah's discipleship, what I found recently is that I was hiding behind her
Right.
and
Right.
her words and her teaching, and I always tried to make it about her because I always thought of myself as not good enough to be the speaker, to be the writer. I mean, that was all her, and I didn't see myself as that way.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, God's opening these doors. And so I read a quote from her the other morning, and it says, "The truth is, life is no better or worse than I wanted. It's just completely and utterly different. The wisdom comes in knowing that it is exactly as it should be. The joy comes in learning to love it, not despite all that I've lost, but because of all that it's brought me."
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I think we can all think of times in our life that we've lost, or now we're doing things that we never dreamt. Our life is completely and utterly different than what we thought it would be, right? And so going through that process of just reading that and being in my prayer and realizing where God is taking me today, I realized that I wasn't loving myself well.
Right.
I can love others great. I can be the world's greatest
You are a great
cheerleader for everyone else, and let
exhorter,
them
yes.
know that they're doing everything great. But what I realized is that in my mind, I wasn't holding myself up to where maybe God is equipping me to be.
Yes. And we've talked a lot about this.
Yes.
With this Women of Faith journey, and Laura's been doing some videos for the month of February for Women of Faith, and it can be intimidating.
It can be.
It just, we question our worth, and it's just been so cool to see your journey, because I've seen it and I've kind of been encouraging you.
Yes.
Like, I love Sarah's story. It's so powerful, but what is your story?
Right.
And it's so cool. It's amazing to see you stepping into that and claiming that yes, you are called to speak.
Yeah.
Yes, you are called to write.
Yeah.
And yes, you have all that you need to do this. And so we want to encourage you. If God is calling you to something and you're not feeling worthy, just trust that God has brought you there for a purpose. And just in our everyday lives, in order to truly live out that great commandment, to love God, love others, we also have to love ourselves as imperfect,
Yep.
as unprepared, as a beautiful mess that we all are. We have to learn to love ourselves. And I'm so excited for you, my
Thank
friend,
you.
to
Thank
see
you.
where God is going to take this. And
Thank you. And I need to believe. That's my one word for
Yes,
this year. So this
yes.
is a whole nother, I guess, having that word stuck in your head is an
Yeah.
example of how you really can come to a whole different level of trust in God and trust in yourself.
And believe in yourself. We have to
Exactly.
believe in ourselves. If we don't believe in ourselves, we're not being all that God has called us to be.
So trust that your good
Yes.
friends will always tell you
Yes, and we'll
what
encourage
needs
each other.
to be when it's to be, and
Yes.
just love yourself
Exactly.
so that you can love others.
Well, exactly. That's the key part of that commandment. So thank you for joining us, for listening in. Again, we do choose conferences, so if you're interested kind of in this conversation, how to make godly choices, just contact us. We'd love to come to your church, big or small, we don't care.
Yep.
We just want to come.
We just want to
share-
make a difference.
We do. So thanks for joining us on our Choose Chat.
See you next week.
Have a great day, everybody.